How to navigate car lease transfers during divorce. Hi, I'm Tim Blankenship with divorce661.com. If you or your spouse have a car lease, figuring out what happens to it during divorce can get confusing. Unlike a loan or a car you own outright, a lease is a contract with a third-party company, and that means extra steps if you're trying to transfer it. Let's talk about how to navigate car lease transfers during divorce. First, check your divorce judgment or agreement to see who's responsible for the vehicle and what happens next. If one spouse wants to keep the leased car, you'll need to contact the leasing company to see if they allow a transfer of the lease into that person's name. Not all leasing companies allow assumptions of lease, and those that do may require a credit check or approval process. If the person taking over the lease doesn't qualify, or the company doesn't allow transfers, the vehicle may need to be returned early, which can come with penalties. We helped a client whose spouse agreed to take over a leased SUV as part of the divorce, but they didn't qualify on their own credit. The solution? We built a timeline into the judgment requiring either a refinance, a buyout, or a lease return by a specific date, with clear responsibility for fees and payments. At Divorce 661, we help you include specific lease language in your judgment, outlining who will keep the car, who pays for it, how the transfer will happen, and what the fallback plan is if it can't be transferred. Don't forget to also update the insurance policy, registration, and DMV records once the lease is transferred or returned. You don't want to remain financially or legally responsible for a vehicle you no longer use. If you're dealing with a car lease during divorce and want to make sure everything is handled correctly, visit divorce661.com for a free consultation. We'll help you build a clear agreement, avoid surprises, and make sure your lease responsibilities are cleanly and legally resolved.